Okay, so I don't know if this will be helpful enough, but maybe this will help a little bit. The functions, the video for the notes and everything is in Google Classroom if you want to watch those. But I'm going to go over some of the problems on the worksheet right now. So remember, functions, when we're looking to see if something is a function or not, we're just looking at the x values. So that's the first number in a set of numbers in a data set. Okay, so we really are just looking at that number and we want to see if it repeats. Okay, if this number repeats, like we see it more than once, then it's not a function. Make sense? So number one, like I said, I'm just looking at the x values. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to circle them all. Okay, I have 1, -2, -1, and 1. 1 and 1 are the same numbers. So that means it's not a function. You can put not, you can put NF, however you want to do that. Okay, then I'm going to look at number 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, none of those numbers repeated, so that is a function. You can write the word or you can just put F. Skip number 4 because I don't remember what the first numbers were. So just skip that one. If we're looking at a table, same thing. You're just looking at your x values to see if they repeat. If we have a map like this, we want to make sure that the x values don't repeat. So I'm going to write down all of the coordinates that go with number 9. Okay, so this is my x, this is my y. So one of my points is 0, 4. Another point is -3, -2. And my last point is 4, -2. Okay, so I see that I have 2 -2's, but those are the y values, so that doesn't matter. I'm still just looking at those numbers. Okay, so since none of those repeated, that would be a function. Okay, now do the same thing here. We've got 4, 8, 4, 3, and -1 goes with nothing, and then 6, 9. Okay, so look at your x values. Do any of those repeat? If you have a graph, you use the vertical line test. So what that means is if I draw a vertical line on my graph, or vertical lines, I want to do this more than once, and if it crosses the line or the shape that they've put on the graph more than once, then it's not a function. Okay, so I did all my vertical lines. It doesn't cross the shape more than once anywhere. Like, these are all different times. So I'm going to say maybe that one's it because I'm looking for a function. If I do this, already, see how it crosses here and here? And it crosses that shape more than once, so that one couldn't work. Okay, same thing on this one. That's my child. And then this one, it would all be the same x value, so that one wouldn't work either. Same, remember on this one, vertical line test. This one's kind of hard. Oh, not a function. Actually, it's not that hard. And on the last one, proportional or non-proportional. Basically, proportional means there's nothing at the end. There's no plus, there's no extra. Non-proportional means there is something extra. Okay, hi. Now for this one, proportional and non-proportional worksheet. Honestly, what I'm gonna have you do, instead of doing this slope-intercept form, I'll go through the first one and do slope-intercept form, but what I want you to do is just go through and write if it's proportional or non-proportional. So you could put a P and an NP. what it's wanting you to do though, the slope-intercept form, remember, is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope, so that's like with the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and the b is your y-intercept. So if we have a table, it's just the value of y when x is 0. Does that make sense? And if we're looking at a table, we would need 0, 0 for it to be proportional. So on this table where we have 0, we have 4 next to it. So since it doesn't have 0 and 0, it has 0 and another number, this is going to be not proportional. Okay? And I'm going to show you the slope-intercept stuff, but when you are doing your worksheet, I just want you to say proportional or not proportional. So we already know that this is the b, this is the y-intercept. So my answer for the slope-intercept part would be y equals mx plus 4. Okay, so now I need to solve for the m, the slope. And I'm going to pick two data sets, 2 coordinates that are going to be the easiest, and I'm just going to do, I'm going to erase this. I'm going to do the 2 positive numbers, so these 4. So I'm going to label this one x1, x2, y1, and y2. Okay, and then I'm going to use that slope formula to figure out what that slope is. So y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Okay, so I'm going to plug that in. So 14 minus 4, and then 2 minus 0. Okay, so 14 minus 4 is 10, 2 minus 0 is 2, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So that's my m. So where it says write in slope-intercept form, my answer for that would be y equals 5x plus 4. Okay, and I'm just showing you that so you can go back and look at it, but from the rest of the worksheet, just so I don't want you to be overwhelmed, just do proportional, non-proportional. Okay, so then on number 2, we want to write if it's p or np, proportional or non-proportional. And remember, look at where x equals 0. You have 0, 0. So is that proportional or non-proportional? Okay, same thing on number 3. The only thing you need to focus on is this right here. And then tell me, is it P or NP, proportional or non-proportional? On number 4, that's your main focus. Okay. When we are deciding if it's proportional or non-proportional and it's an equation, proportional means that there is nothing extra added on. It goes through the origin, there's 0, 0, but for these, all you need to know is that there's nothing added on, which is the same as saying plus 0. Okay, there's nothing extra. That would be proportional. Okay, so you're looking to see if there's anything extra added on, then it's non-proportional. Okay, like plus 4, non-proportional. And then on the graphs, if it goes through the origin being this little corner right here, because this is just a little piece of a graph. Okay, so if your line goes through that little point, then it's proportional. If it does not go through that little point, then it's non-proportional. Same thing on these. Which one is proportional? Which one goes through your origin? Okay. Same thing here, but which graph shows non-proportional? So the opposite, which one does not go through that origin? Okay, then true or false. An equation is proportional if the y-intercept, which would be the b, the y-intercept is the plus b, is 2. A table is not proportional if the x is 0 and the y is not 0. So think about what that b is. That b is the y, or the y-intercept technically.